Hey guys, this is Combatant 5, and I'm here with Kerbal Space Program. So basically what Kerbal Space Program is it is a space program slash rocket flying slash slight flight simulator game. It's more of a simulator than a game, but it's also more of a game than a simulator. I know that's kind of a little bit of a double negative, but uh, it's not really either one. It's kind of an in-between area. So it's a game simulation. Basically, what we've got here is we've got the Kerbal Space Center, and this is going to be the center of most of the activity that goes on in the game. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting a series on Kerbal Space Program, and I'll also try and do some of the games you guys want me to do. Kind of depends on what it is. So if you want me to do something or do something with space or talk about something, send me the topic. I'll sit down and I'll talk about it. I'll start doing that, and I'll try and get you guys a little bit more involved rather than just showing videos of me sitting there in a cockpit flying an airplane. But I'm going to be doing a career save on Kerbal Space Program, and I'm going to be showing you pretty much every single minute of it. So just so you guys get a little bit of a feeling of the game before I actually start releasing episodes, I'm going to try and do one a week. I'm going to kind of give you a tour of it, and I'm going to try and give you a feel of the game. So we're going to start here. We're going to start with the Kerbal Space Center. Highlighted, we have the runway. You launch and recover space planes here if you want to. If you don't want to, suggest that you use the launch pad where you launch rockets, and then just land anywhere. You can recover a craft from anywhere, which is kind of anywhere on Kerbin. So it's kind of a little bit odd if you land a space plane somewhere and then you come and pick your guy up with something that we're going to assume is an airplane. Then we got the space plane hangar. Basically, this is where you build your own space planes. Both this and the vehicle assembly building, which is where you build rockets, just like the NASA vehicle assembly building at Kennedy Space Center. Basically, they've got some stock craft that are exclusively stock, have no add-ons on it or anything. I've got a lot of add-ons on here, so you'll see a lot of stuff that you won't get if you just buy the game. You can get the game on Steam for about $25. It's well worth it because they basically sell you an entire solar system to play around in. Then we're going to come down here to the astronaut complex. Basically, here you manage your crew and basically decide, okay, I want this guy, I want this guy. You can hire, I'll show you this, you can hire a bunch of different randomly generated name guys. And you've got the Research and Development Center. Unfortunately, it's closed right now because we're in sandbox mode. Everything's already unlocked. So you won't get to see that until I actually start my career save and start showing you. Okay, here's this, here's that, blah, blah, blah. Then we're going to come over here to the tracking station. Now, the tracking station is basically your portal to any single flight that you've got. So we're going to start here on Kerbin. Basically, this is the Earth analog. You launch from right there. Right there is the Space Center. And you launch, and you can get into orbit, and you can go to any one of these planets here. You've got Io, which is basically a dwarf planet right now. It's like Pluto. It's the furthest out. Except it's actually going to end up being more like Europa. It's going to be, at some point, the first moon of another gas giant. Right now we only have Joule, so working our way in one planet, we've got Joule, which is basically a gas giant made of chlorine. It's chlorine gas, probably. There is nothing kind of said by the developers that say, oh yeah, this is definitely chlorine gas, guys. Awesome, nice job. So it's basically, yeah, chlorine gas. You drop anything biological or metal or anything into it, and it's going to eat away at it. If it's biological, it'll kill it. Next, we're going to come out one, and we're going to go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is Lathe. This is the only moon in the game, and the only other body other than Kerbin that has an oxygenated atmosphere and has liquid water on it. So it is possibly the only other place in the Kerbin system that you could sustain life without a spacesuit. I'm not saying that you can't land on like Duna, which we'll go to here shortly, and set up a colony and just have guys run around with spacesuits, but basically it's the only other place where you can have your helmet off, and it's not even as dense as Kerbin is, or Kerbin's atmosphere is. Kerbin's atmosphere at sea level is one standard atmosphere. Everything is pretty much standard. 1G in this game is 1G in real life, at least at sea level. So basically that's how this kind of works. Everything is shrunk down a lot. It actually takes more delta V to get to Earth orbit than it does to go from Kerbin to Kerbin's innermost moon, the Moon, M-U-N, not M-O-O-N as we know it, land and come back. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a reference point, everything here is very shrunk down. Kerbin's about 11 times smaller than Earth is. And we've got Valley here, or Val, excuse me. There's no I at the end. But basically Val may have liquid water or solid water. So it's got no atmosphere. That alone makes it inhospitable. Next, we're going to go to Tylo. Tylo is kind of like Ganymede. It's like one of the Galilean moons, but it probably was volcanically active at some point in its history. You can see the black spots there are probably dried lava. But just noticing this now, it kind of looks like a bowling ball. If you look there, bowling ball, or you can, well, no, you can't. There you go. Even better. If you want to play bowling, or you can play Julian bowling, I don't know. Then we're going to go out to Bop. Bop is most likely a captured asteroid. It's actually got something similar to Moholes. I'll show you the Moholes on Moho. Basically, a Mohole is kind of like the experiment or the program to drill into the Earth's mantle way back in the 70s. But basically, they're around 4.6 kilometers deep on Moho. I'm not sure how deep they are here. I may do a video of me just kind of exploring that. But yeah, it's probably a captured asteroid due to its high inclination and high eccentricity of, or the high inclination and high eccentricity of its orbit. Then we've got Paul. Paul is also probably a captured asteroid. Both moons, the gravity on them is small, or the gravity is not anywhere close to a G. But yeah, so basically the reason it's named Paul is it kind of looks like a pollen grain almost. But also it is at a slightly inclined orbit, and it's just kind of a little bit elliptical as well. It's not as bad as Bop is, but yeah, this would probably be the more difficult planet or moon to get to because it does have such a small sphere of influence. Jewel is actually kind of, I'm going to show you this, and this is probably, in fact, it's almost definitely wrong, but it says that sea level gravity, which there is no sea level, so I guess just gravity on Jewel would be 1.8 or 0.8 G's. I don't think that's right, but that would be something to take up with the developers. I'm not going to say that it's wrong, so don't quote me on that. We're going to go in one more to the dwarf planet Dres. Now, at current, it meets the IAS criteria to be a planet. There are no asteroids. It's cleared its neighborhood. It's orbiting a star. They changed that from just orbiting the sun because of exoplanets. But also, it's pulled itself into a mostly circular shape, or hydrostatic equilibrium, or equilibrium as the astronomers say it. So, but the reason that it's a dwarf planet is because the developers have stated that it's a dwarf planet, and they're going to be adding an asteroid field near Dres. So it will lose its planetary status, just like Pluto did, except for a legitimate reason. Rather than just, oh, it's small, let's just make fun of it and kick it out. Now we're going to go to Duna. Duna is the Mars analog. So basically, Duna, yeah, it's Mars. Large water ice caps. But it's a lot different. It only has one moon, which is Ike. And Ike is tidally locked and in a semi-synchronous orbit. And what that means is that basically it it does what's called librations. It basically moves in a circular, almost like in an oval in the Duna sky. You can see it 24/7 if you're on Duna, and it moves in almost a oval shape or even a circular shape, depending on what latitudes you're at. But you can always see it. It's always up there. Not like our moon where you can't see it during the day, but it's always up there. You can always see it. And so basically what I mean by tidally locked, just to, if you don't know what tidally locked means, it means that the side rotational period, or the period, or basically an Ike day, is equal to one orbit around Duna. So it's tidally locked to Duna. Now we're going to go back to Kerbin, and we're going to go over the moons. We've got the moon, M-U-N, like I said. It's a lot like Earth's moon. It's basically kind of the same deal. A lot of people go here first. Personally, I wouldn't want to go here because getting back takes a lot more delta V than if you were to go to Minmus. Minmus is a lot easier to get off of. In fact, a Kerbal with just an EVA pack or a jet pack or whatever you want to call it can get off of Minmus without actually needing a spacecraft. It's that easy to get off of. You can see it's got these nice sea level lakes where you can land, but so far they do not have biomes for Minmus or pretty much anywhere else other than Kerbin and the moon. So hopefully that'll come in the next build, 0.23. With 0.22, they just released science, so we'll see. Now we've got Eve. Eve is the Venus analog. Not only is it the second planet from Kerbal, the sun, but it's also got a very dense atmosphere like Venus does, except it's got liquid on it. Scientists don't think that Venus has any liquids on it, because it is so hot. It's about 273 degrees Celsius on the surface of Venus, and it's getting hotter because of the greenhouse effect. It's got a mostly carbon dioxide atmosphere. However, it is a garden planet. So maybe once Venus was like Earth, but it's not now. We know that. So yeah, basically the atmosphere is like 3 atmospheres or so at sea level. And then at 8,000 feet, it's 1 atmosphere. So it's very dense, very heavy. It's very hard to get back off. Because not only that, but the gravity is about 1.7 Gs, I believe. Yes, 1.7 Gs. So it's both heavier gravity-wise, and it's got a heavier atmosphere. Let's go out to Gilly. Gilly is also a captured asteroid. It's in a very, very high, very elliptical orbit. Or very high, very inclined, very elliptical orbit. So hard to get to. Also, let me show you this. Escape velocity is only 35.7 meters per second. It means you basically have to fly towards it to be able to land on it. If you land on one of these plateaus here, this high plateau right there, you're probably only going to, it's not even going to register that you've landed. So basically, Gilly's kind of really the easiest moon to get on and off of once you get to Eve, which getting to Eve is fairly easy because you can do aero braking and aero capture and all kinds of stuff with the atmosphere, which I'll talk about that and gravity assist in a different video. Next, we're going to go to MOHO, and like I said, we're going to talk about MOHOLs. MOHOLs are at both of the poles. Ha ha ha. Basically, they're very deep holes. Like I said, 4.6 kilometers deep, and it's volcanically active. So, yeah, that's basically the Kerbal system. So I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what the system actually looks like. Now we're going to go into the space plane here, and I'm going to just show you a quick little space plane I threw together. Where is it? There it is. I haven't named it or anything because I was just going to use this for this. Actually, I'm thinking, no. I have to run this in windowed mode because of the recording software I'm using. Yeah. So, yeah. That's kind of the deal here. Until I get better recording software or figure something out for that, I've got to do that. Sorry about all the background noise. My sister, yeah, she just got home, so we're gonna have to deal with that right now. So once this is done loading, we're gonna go to this jet on the runway. We're gonna take it off and we're gonna fly it a little bit. I'm not gonna fly too long for you because, like I said, I'm not the best jet pilot when it comes to Kerbal Space Program. In fact, I've been known to kill lots of pilots. Yeah, just show you a little bit of stuff. I can't land on the runway, but I can land anywhere else. So I think I'm just going to fly over towards these mountains, maybe try and find K2 for you guys. K2 is basically the highest point near to the space program or space center. So we're just going to kind of fly out that way, and I'll just kind of, while I'm trying to get this thing stabilized, tell you about a little bit about what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to get a sort of, I guess you could say, shared save together. I'm going to try and find a few other guys that are willing to do it. And we're going to do a career mode for you guys, and we'll do just kind of, well, we'll try and get quite a bit more footage from that, and hopefully, if all goes well, that'll work well and we can do this. I want to do where you got video of each mission rather than just, okay, yeah, this mission actually went down, here's the text, the craft's in the save file now. That's kind of how it works over at our Reddit Space Program, and I want to do it differently. I want to do something on YouTube. So we'll see how that turns out. It may or may not happen. And I'm thinking Jeb's about to die right now. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull it over. So, yeah, I'm going to diversify this channel for you guys a little bit. And hopefully you guys will like it because I have gotten very few views on stuff that I've done here recently, and I really kind of wanted to do something different as well. Yeah, Jeb's going to have a little bit of trouble here if I don't do that. and do this, and actually I'm just going to push it out, and we're going to roll 180 degrees, assuming it doesn't flip over, flip upside down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Jeb's now going to live for a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm going to land this thing. I don't like the characteristics of it. Shoot. Jeb, you may or may not be dead, buddy. Sorry. Did not want it to pitch up like that. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done flying that. I don't like it. Anyways, my point being, I want to get a little bit of different stuff going on with this channel, so that's kind of what's going to be happening. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm Combatant5. Thanks for watching.